Code Monkey, get up, get coffee. Code Monkey, go to job.
In this section, we're going to talk about arrays. What is an array? An array is a data structure containing homogeneous data stored contiguously in memory. Now, what does that mean exactly? Contiguously means that it's all right next to each other, and this becomes important when we start thinking about how arrays are accessed. A data structure is simply a way to structure data. It's how the data is put together, and it's more than just one single primitive type. And homogeneous data means it has to be all the same data type. So how do we create one of these arrays? First of all, to declare an array, you have to use the square brackets. That's the heads up to Java that you are creating an array and not just a primitive type. Then you have to supply the name for the array, equals new, the keyword new will allocate the memory, and then the data type again and how many of these we want. This line of code creates an array of 21 integers. So the number in the square brackets indicates the total number of elements in the array. Elements or members is what you call each individual piece of data that is in that array. Remember that Java uses zero-based arrays, so the first subscript or index of the first element or member will always be 0. The last subscript will always be 1 less than the total number of elements in the array. If you try to access an element that is outside the bounds of your array, you get an out-of-bounds exception, which will cause your program to crash. To access the last element in the array, you can use the length property. For example, as you see on the last point on this slide, age sub age.length minus 1. Length is a property of every array, and length minus 1 will give you the subscript of the last element in that array. When you create an array, Java initializes it automatically for you. All numeric types such as int and double are initialized to 0. Boolean values are initialized to false, and object references such as objects of house pet or objects of bank account would be initialized to null. The programmer can initialize values using initializer list syntax as shown, and Java is smart enough to count up and see how many elements are required. The array name itself is a reference, so that means it stores the address of the first element in the array. Arrays in Java are fixed length. They cannot be resized after they are created. Why don't you go ahead and pause the video now and see if you can tell what is held in the array called data after the code is run. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed learning about arrays. They are a very powerful data structure that helps us keep data organized and do a lot of great things like video game programming and other fun stuff with Java. Go ahead and complete the coding bat. Don't forget that's due on Monday morning at 8 a.m. and email me if you have questions. Have a great weekend.
Code Monkey like you.